Welcome to Table Talks, where we bring in different leaders from around our community that are partners with Shepherd's Heart and have conversation, get to know who they are, get to know their heart for Waco and also for Shepherd's Heart. Today we have with us Allison Bulkley from VanTran, the winners of our Hunger Heroes Challenge last year, and also great partners for this community. Thank you, Allison, for being here.
Well, thanks for inviting me, guys. I'm happy to join you.
What did VanTran bring you to Waco?
No, so I went to Baylor. I grew up in the Austin area. I went to Baylor for undergrad, and I cheered during my time there. So I was on the sidelines cheering and dancing for the Bears. And after I graduated from Baylor, I ended up staying here. My grandmother lived here. My mom grew up here. And so my parents met at Baylor, did that whole thing. And all of, my family has been a big Baylor family. So after I graduated from college, I, was looking at other opportunities elsewhere, but ended up moving in with my grandmother and taking care of her for a couple of years. At that time, I found a job at VanTran just as an office generalist, kind of helping from an administrative function. And then throughout the past 10 years now, kind of got to experience different sides of the business before ultimately taking on the HR role. My degree from Baylor is in human resource management, so it kind of worked out perfectly, getting to stay in Waco, stay at VanTran, where I've been now for 9+ years, and get to see the business grow. So it's been really cool. Yeah.
That is so awesome to how people get connected. And now you're a superhero with human resources, resourcing the humanity of Waco with groceries. VanTran has been a great partner.
We love being partners with you guys. It's been a tremendous sense of pride for us being able to participate in those, the various food drives and gift drives and all of that kind of stuff has been really, something that we've really taken pride in over the past couple of years. And it's been a great thing for our organization to kind of rally around things. We love to win. We're a team that likes to win. We talk about sports all the time. We talk about winning. And so to be able to come together and rally around something like a food drive or a gift drive during the Christmas time has been really great for us, just to have another kind of fun element to add and another fun, goal to achieve and making things happen, filling, a certain number of boxes with gifts each year, or filling a certain size container with food, has been a fun challenge for us to participate in the past couple of years. So we are super happy to participate in that with y'all.
We enjoy your competitive spirit because it makes a difference for us.
We
served almost 75,000 families last year.
Wow.
Almost 3.9 million pounds of food.
Wow. That is incredible.
At Christmas time, 2,436 children we provided Christmas to.
That's incredible.
And so everything we've touched has turned Texas size. And we need partners like you that are competitive and really want to feed back into the community. So we appreciate you guys very much. It matters. It really matters.
Yeah.
So what does the competition feel like in VanTran among your employees? Is there a competition among them to bring more in? Or?
Yeah. So we do it by department. So the guys will kind of, try to one up each other and which department can bring in the most number of, whatever season it is, whether it's food drive season or Christmas gift season. So we kind of do an internal competition on that. Who can donate the most gifts and pounds of, either number of gifts or pounds of pounds of food. So we do it kind of across departments, and then individually as well. It's fun for them to be able to kind of, I gave more than you, I participated more, that kind of thing is really fun for them. So
there's a lot of competition.
Oh, they love it.
I like
across
that.
everything. They love it. So it's a fun thing.
Well, we saw that same thing in you when you got the trophy in your hands and instantly was like, yeah.
I love a good trophy, and that is a good trophy. That Hunger Heroes trophy, I look forward to it hopefully being back in our facility and this year, because every time a customer comes in, every time we have a visitor, that trophy sits in our conference room upstairs, and we always talk about, we like to win. We like to do things big. We love to give back to our community. VanTran is all about the team, whether that be our team internally, our team with our clients, or our team here in the Waco area. We want to win, and we want to make sure that we're participating as a team. And so we love to talk about that trophy. It is a good looking trophy.
Thank you.
Yeah, we were pretty excited about it too.
It's a nice trophy.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that kind of hardware from you guys. I was like,
hey, we can compete too.
Yeah.
I was like, am I strong enough to lift this thing up? But yeah.
This is something that we want to grow in the community. Last year was our first time to do it. And this year's our second year. We want to grow it. And that cup reminds me of the Stanley Cup hockey playoffs, okay?
Yes.
And so I wanted it to be substantial. I wanted it to be something worth competing for.
It is. It absolutely is. It's great. Yes. I'm looking forward to it again this year. It'll be a lot of fun.
And at the same time, our communities we're competing for as well. Absolutely. And if you would, just a little bit, the heart of VanTran for Waco and the investment back into Waco as a community and why that's important to you as a company.
Yeah, so VanTran has been in the Waco area since 1974. So we've been here for a while. And during that time, we've seen so much growth as an organization, but then just the Waco environment as well. For us to be able to participate in that is truly a blessing. We were one of the first organizations to be there in that industrial park over off Imperial. So to watch all of that kind of grow and foster over the past several decades, and even for me as an HR manager, somebody who's been at VanTran, to be able to grow in this community has been incredible. The day that I started at VanTran, we actually had about 46 employees. And as of today, we have 148 employees.
Wow.
So for us as an organization and for, our management team over at VanTran, we place, and I get goosebumps when I talk about it because with my whole heart, I mean that it gives me a great amount of pride to know that we are providing good jobs for people in this community to, be able to, do things like donate to Shepherd's Heart and to, be able to provide for their families. For us as an organization, being able to get more plugged into the Waco community through Shepherd's Heart and through other avenues as well, has been really instrumental, I think, in continuing to foster the sense of growth that we have over the past 7 or so years that we've really been, on a growth trajectory. So, yeah.
That adage is really true. When the tide comes up for one boat, all the boats come up. Right?
Exactly. Yep. It's very true.
And that's why we have the challenge, not just internally, but also to other companies. Who are some of the companies around you that you'd like to challenge to step up and take part in this Hunger Heroes?
I'd like to challenge. So in our little area around us, we have Time is there, Howmet is there. I'd love to see some more from those guys. Maybe Clayton. I'd definitely challenge them. There's a lot of great organizations. Waco Boom, I'd love to see them participate. I'd love that whole entire area around us kind of participate so we can have, all of Imperial Drive kind of competing for this Hunger Hero Championship trophy. Because
that would be a good industrial area of competition.
Absolutely.
It really would, because you've got some good quality manufacturers over there.
Absolutely, yeah. Englander is right by us. So there's a bunch of organizations over there who I think it's kind of fun for us to compete, knowing that we're all right there over in that little industrial area. So that would be my encouragement. I'll make some phone calls if you guys want me to.
Awesome! Yeah, we'd love to do that.
That would be great.
Absolutely.
Because again, at the end of the day, the competition's fun, but we want to.
But everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Everybody wins. In the best kind of way.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And the fun part of that is that the people that we're competing for, they need for us to win. They need for all of you to win in order to make it through whatever they're going through.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't always know. There are times when people think, well, you're just taking care of the poor people and they just don't want to work and they don't have jobs and they don't have any ambition. That's not correct. Right. There may have been a time when that was a vision, okay? But most of the people that we see, they're rarely of that caliber. They're people that are, a lot of them are single moms that have children, and they have a job that doesn't pay enough in the first place, and they're just struggling to get it, to make ends meet for their children and feed them enough. We've got a lot of seniors. 43% of our clients that we serve are seniors. 1,100 of them, we deliver groceries to them at home because they're homebound. I mean, we've got a lot of issues in our community that we're dealing with. People don't realize that 27.5% of our population, which is twice the national average, really, are at or below the poverty line. And this past year, we saw a significant change. I mentioned that we're almost 75,000 families. We've never done anything like that before, but that's because of the economy, what happened in our economy that changed everything for them. We've got the middle class that's shrinking. We've got those people that come to me, and I talk to the people in our lines as we're feeding people and serving people, and they tell me, I don't know if we qualify. I say, you don't have to qualify here. If you come here, we're going to help you. But they tell me stories like both husband and wife have jobs. They have car payments, they have house payments, and all these bills, and children are expensive. And so they just can no longer afford everything that they were doing. And so they're having to adjust their lives. So it's a different ballgame. It really is.
It's great to be part of something that's helping that. You know, we're kind of in unprecedented times.
Your folks make a difference. Every time they touch something that comes our way, they make a difference.
And part of the importance of that is that being faith-based, we don't get government funding. We rely on the community, and actually we like to consider ourselves just the conduit of the generosity of Waco, giving back to Waco.
Absolutely.
And so what you guys do is absolutely critical. It's important and much more valuable than what's actually donated. It goes out and touches much more than what the face value of it is. So
yeah.
When the people that get the food from us hear the other side of the story, it makes them feel like somebody really cares. Because we let them know that we don't have government money funding this thing. It's the community coming together to serve them. And that touches them. It makes a difference for them.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's also why we think it's important for the community to know our partners, to know that, to drive by on Imperial Drive and see VanTran and wonder, what kind of company is that? Do they sell vans? Is it transportation? What is that? But for a thought to trigger, no, these whatever they do, they care about Waco because they feed Waco.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. We do care about Waco. We definitely do.
You're really a hunger hero, you know that?
You guys are hunger heroes.
We can't do it without you. We can't.
Happy to be part of it, for sure.
We're just the middleman.
Definitely. It's definitely a treat to be part of, and we look forward to a long, long partnership together. So it's nice to just be able to give back. I mean, who knows, next year, you could be on the other end where you need the help. So when you're in a position when you can give and when you can help other people, to be able to do that, knowing that, that's going to come back. I get goosebumps when I talk about it. I'm like really passionate about this. But it's just so important to do. It's so important to make sure that you are, giving back and being a good steward of what you've been given. Knowing that, the person on the other end would do the same thing. Yeah. Because we're a community. We win together. We lose together. That's what we say all the time at VanTran. We're a team. We win together. We lose together. But we're a team. And no matter what happens, we're all in it together. So what do we need to do to make sure we're winning? And a lot of the time, that's how much food can we get and how many gifts can we get? Because at the end of the day, making sure that our community is in a good spot is so important to future success. And there are so many, young kids who are going to benefit from, the food that we donate. Oh, yeah. Somebody who may eventually end up being an electrical engineer in my engineering department, or somebody who may end up, being the team lead over my final finish area in our factory could be somebody who's benefiting from this right now. So to be able to partner in that and make sure that, they're getting what they need to be able to be successful when they're going to school or going to work or whatever is so important.
We now serve the schools, okay?
I didn't know that.
We have pantries at Waco High, University High, Tennyson Middle School, La Vega, Connolly, Chilton. We've got schools, and we've got more schools. And next month, I've got a meeting with communities and schools to talk about how much more can you do? What else can we do? We served, I think last year, it was a little over 21,000 kids.
Wow, that's incredible.
So there's a lot of things that are important. When you mention kids, that's the area where I keep telling these people, they're the future. We've got to take care of the future. If we don't take care of the future, there isn't going to be a future.
Right.
It's going to look
very
bleak. Yeah.
Very, very important.
Thank you for caring.
Yeah. And thank you for taking some time with us.
Yeah, no, thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate it. We manufacture transformers, not vans.
Yeah.
I know you know that, but
I do, but just VanTran, the name.
right? No, you would never know. You would never know.
I didn't know that until we went there. I thought, wow, I thought it was I really thought you were a moving company or a transportation company because just because of the name, but to find out that it's Transformers. And it's not just a one size fits all, but everything is custom made, which is also
it's really
also
interesting.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating. So VanTran was founded back in Vandalia, Illinois, back in 1963. So if you put Vandalia and Transformer and you kind of smush it together, it becomes VanTran. Okay. So that's where we get the name. But yeah, we and other people, I think that we should get in this competition because we have supplied Transformers for Mars, Cargill, Coke. So we've, done a lot for that whole industrial area, partnering with them on some projects that they have. So
that sounds like a good idea.
A cool
sounds
thing.
Like a great
Caterpillar.
idea.
So yeah. Pretty neat thing to be part of.
Absolutely.
So, there we go.
I used to live out in the Hewitt area, and so I used to drive by there a lot on my way to work or wherever I was going. My wife worked at Mars, so I went by there a few times too. And so, I saw your business where it was small back in the early 80s and how it has grown and grown and grown. Every time I go by there, hey, they're not building another addition. I wonder what they do there.
Yeah, we, over the past, 6 or 7 years or so, have really been making sure that we're reinvesting back into the business. We want everybody who comes to work at our facility to be proud to drive by with their spouse or their kids or whatever and say, hey, that's where I work. So I love hearing stories with people who are like, I used to drive by VanTran back, 10 years ago, and it did not look anything like it looks today. It's really kind of cool to hear all of those stories about how our organization has changed and people's perception of it.
It was just a little building there.
Yeah, it was just a tiny little old,
and just keep adding on to
dilapidated building, and now we've grown and expanded, and we're running into a great problem where we don't have enough parking spots at this point. So that is a great problem.
You're kind of landlocked too, aren't you? You built so much.
Yeah, a little bit we are. So in fact, before I headed over here, we were in a meeting about finding some offsite warehousing space to get some of our raw materials stored outside of our facility so we can expand our parking, which is a good problem to have. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Again, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, no, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. We love to be part of what you guys are doing. So thanks for letting us.
We're grateful for your partnership and the people in your company and the heart that they have to serve our community.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for everything you do. You guys make it possible.